Now, Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has asked President William Ruto to forgive him if he at any point wronged him. During a prayer service at his Karen office, Gachagua also asked all members of parliament to forgive him just the day before lawmakers embark on his impeachment in the National Assembly. The Deputy President says his call for forgiveness has also been extended by his family. He was accompanied by his spouse, Pastor Dorcas Rigathi, his children and MPs allied to him in
the Deputy President on national television referred to this House in unpalatable terms. And Mr. Speaker, while it is his right to say whatever he wants to say, as a former member himself, Mr. Speaker, would I be in order, Mr. Speaker, that the Deputy President, as a precursor to his speech, apologizes to this House? Mr. Speaker, this House, Mr. Speaker, he used the words, he referred to this House as a theater of the absurd. Mr. Speaker, this House is an honorable House of the people of Kenya.
I want to say to my brother President William Ruto, if in our zeal to work, I have wronged you, please find it in your heart to forgive me.
We begin with the major political drama unfolding in Kenya. An impeachment campaign against President William Ruto's deputy is gaining momentum. Kenya, for the very first time, could see a deputy president being impeached. Now, this comes amidst tensions within Kenya's ruling party. A rift between President Ruto and his deputy, Rigathi Gachagua.
Good evening, Georgia. Yes, it's been a dramatic day full of twists and turns and unexpected political surprises here in Kenya. The Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has now been impeached on charges that include corruption, ethnic division and undermining government authority. The 67 senators voted in favour of his impeachment. They voted on the 11 charges and they voted in a large majority on the first charge, which was enough for him to be removed from office.
Rigathi Gachagua, who has fallen out with President Ruto, was too ill to attend proceedings. His lawyers said, who is Jeffrey Rigathi Gachagua, born 28 February 1965, also known as Riggy G, is a Kenyan politician who previously served as the second Deputy President of Kenya under the new constitution drafted 2010. From 2022 until his impeachment won from office in 2024 and Member of Parliament for Mathira Constituency 2 between 2017 and 2022 as a member of the Jubilee Party. In the 2022 election, William Ruto selected Gachagua as his running mate, and the two were elected with just over 50% of the vote. 34. He had previously served in various junior roles in government, including Assistant Secretary 5 in the Ministry of Home Affairs National Heritage, Personal Assistant to the Head of the Public Service, 5 Personal Assistant to Minister for Local Government Uhuru Kenyatta 6, and a District Officer. Kenyan senators attend the impeachment motion in which they decided to remove Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua from office inside the Parliament buildings in Nairobi. The Kenyan Senate has voted to oust Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua in a historic impeachment vote. The upper house has so far voted on Thursday to impeach the 59-year-old on 5 charges out of a total of 11 against him, following 2 days of hearings. The Senate only had to find him guilty of 1 charge to remove him from office. He is the first deputy president to be removed in this manner since impeachment was introduced in Kenya's revised 2010 constitution. A similar motion against President William Ruto's number 2 was overwhelmingly approved by the lower house National Assembly last week. The Senate session had plunged into disarray earlier Thursday after Gachagua was admitted to hospital with severe chest pains and failed to testify in his defense. The 11 charges which Gachagua had vigorously denied included corruption, insubordination, money laundering, undermining the government, practicing ethnically divisive politics, bullying public officers and threatening a judge. The Senate proceeded with the vote, despite Gachagua's absence from proceedings as a result of illness. He was due to defend himself against the allegations, which he denies, after allies of President Ruto said he was disloyal. But after Gachagua failed to appear, his lawyer Paul Muite said the deputy president had been hospitalized with intense chest pains, urging the Senate to pause proceedings for a couple of days. The sad reality is that the deputy president of the Republic of Kenya has been taken sick. Very sick, Muite said. Speaker Amason Kingi put forward a motion to adjourn the hearing until Saturday, but senators voted against the move. The nays have it, Kingi said, as Gachagua's legal team left the chambers in protest. Ruto, who has fallen out with Gachagua in recent months, has not commented on proceedings. Many Kenyans view the impeachment process as politically motivated and a distraction from the aftermath of the deadly anti-tax protests in June and July that exposed deep discontent with government policies and alleged corruption. The hearings, which have involved in-depth scrutiny of Gachagua's finances, could boomerang back at Ruto, according to Rigathi Kanienga, a professor at the University of Nairobi's Institute for Development Studies. We are going to hear people demanding that the same thing that has been done to Gachagua be done to the president, Kanienga said. Gachagua has previously called the impeachment process a political lynching based on falsehoods.
Basis of allegations of criminal offences, evidence has not been tried and tested in court of law or by bodies mandated to investigate, would be to disqualify me from the possibility of holding public office in relation to Article 99(3), without the benefit of due process of law and exhaustion of the systems of appeal as provided in the penal code. Mr. Speaker, I do not wish to respond to the issues I had this morning that are outside the motion. I want to confirm I have tremendous respect for Kenyan women, and I have never disrespected them. What has happened is that as politicians, there is always propaganda to undermine somebody. I call upon anybody with evidence that I've ever disrespected that person to come out and provide that evidence. I had my very great friend, the Honorable Faith Gitau, say that I disrespect women. Many times I've been to Nyandarua, I've referred to Honorable Faith Gitau as Gatha. Gatha is a Kikuyu name for a woman of great respect.